Hello, everybody. I am just getting my rings on, my rings of choice for tonight. I've got a square one, and I don't know, I need something other than another square one, I think. Here, how's this one? Yeah, it's all right. This one's all right. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. Good to see you all. I know it was kind of up in the air if I was going to go tonight, but alas, here I am. So that works out just fine. For tonight, we're a little bit messy. We're going to kind of crawl through a lot of this stuff. So it's a little messy, but I will continue here to get it set up for us. As we go. All right, and okay, so here we go. I gotta make sure all of my levels are right. How are the levels? Okay. Are we too dark here? Hello, Unconditional. Hello, Steffi. Welcome. Lumpy Blankets. Hello. I'm anti-lumpy blankets, but not you, though. You're fabulous. Oh, my goodness gracious. Looks good? Okay, good. Phew, the light looks a little dark for me, but I'm not that great at assessing. I did get a new tripod thing, and I really, really like it, actually. But I'm still getting used to it, Still getting used to it. Well, hello. Welcome. Hello. I had lots of things I wanted to go through tonight, but then I had to narrow it down. I was like, meh. We're over on the talk. I was over on the tube for, I don't know, maybe two or three lives over there, and you can always go into the live button on the tube website that's got my name in my profile, which is the same as TikTok here. So you go look up my name on YouTube, and then you click on the tab that says lives. Then you can see all of the ones I've done over there on the tube. The lives that I do here on TikTok are just posted as videos over there on the tube. So all of these go to the tube. It takes a little bit of time, but all of the lives I do directly through the tube are on the tube under the live button. There you go. Hi, Johnny. Hello. Welcome. We love Johnny here, don't we? You're so adorable. I can't even. Yes. All right. Thanks, Steffi. I appreciate that. Yeah, let me know if I'm out on... I watch your two of you while I do my... Oh, there you go. Perfect. Aw, Johnny, you're so sweet. I got you, Johnny. Hello, JC. Oh, my gosh. So it has been crazy over here, everyone. And I have to admit, sometimes I listen to my own lives just to make sure I haven't made too many mistakes. And usually I just fall asleep. I'm just like, well, that's it. And it's like 10 in the morning, and I'm like 20 minutes into the post, and I'm like... I'm going to do 90 minutes, and then I just fall asleep on myself. So that's all right. You don't have to stay awake. Oh, my goodness. Hello, Jelly Callie. Hello, Maladaptive Psych. Oh, my gosh. Best names ever, everybody. Best names ever. Just love it. I love it. All right, everyone. So tonight I thought we would go through just a little kind of looky-loo. We've been having some discussions recently about the boats, right? So the boats that are getting, blown up. So I figured the reason why they said they're getting blown up, right? And what I've heard other people say, which is one of the reasons why I absolutely adore spending time with Amanda and Army Barbie, because we get to listen to other people that have weird, I shouldn't say weird, that have different views. And one of the things I noticed that was happening over and over again about these like boom ships was they kept saying that they were, I can't say this word, they were rug runners. Right. Hello, Scott. Welcome. Hello, Stephanie. Hello. So I thought, well, all right, you're trying to stop the rug dealers, and they've had lots of information about how the boat was too small. There would not have been a way for them to do that on this boat, or too many people were on the boat, or not enough people were on the boat. So there's all these questions. And so I decided to go back a little further and say, all right, so the issue here is that you're trying to, explode the boats that are carrying the rugs. So I looked through this, and I tell you what, he has pardoned a lot of rug dealers, right? So the whole mission was, well, we got to get rid of the rugs. But now I thought, well, let's talk about the ones that you have pardoned, right? And then, of course, we have our J6, which has been in legal fields, we would refer to it as the biggest criminal investigation ever in the United States of America. And then everyone there got pardoned. So that's kind of a, that's unfortunate. we don't care for that. So I thought we could go through that. So we got a couple interesting things to do tonight to kind of just go through and kind of talk about and stuff. I do, of course, have court records. I will be taking everybody through very soon, but I thought we just would start off here in kind of this area for fun. Hi, Just Moi. Always good to see you. Ooh, Bruce Wayne's mother. Oh my gosh, Bruce Wayne's mother. Listen, I saw your post where you had a little Batman. I think he was like under the tree or in front of the tree, and you could just see his little eyes glowing. That was like the best picture ever. That picture brought me so much joy today. I was like, I gotta tell her. Yay, Friday. Love it, love it, love it. But these are, and I brought back the pant list. All right. So the gingerbread man doesn't have any pants on, but we're okay with that. But that also made me laugh. So hello, Hawk. Welcome in, welcome in. So we're doing that as our laugh goal because it's funny. We have to laugh. We have to laugh. Anyway, Bruce Wayne's mother. Thank you. Thank you for that. I needed that humor today. All right, everybody, let's get to it here. Let me grab my pen. Tonight. All right, well, let's do this one. Hello, L Jenny 2. Welcome, welcome. All right, now I'm at a point where I have so many pens, it's hard to decide. I don't know. Oh, we'll do this one. It's got a little cat crystal glass thingy in it. Hello, hi, Sin. Hello, man from the West. Welcome. Friday night's party night. You bet. You betcha. Hello, Jennifer. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see everybody here. I have missed you. Oh my gosh, thanks for the gingerbread man. I'm hoping to be able to buy some pants for him. I'm just gonna put that out there. So let's take a look. Let's take a looky-loo first off, everyone, at the people that have been pardoned here. J6ers were pardoned in a different way. And basically what had happened here, if you go, because some of the information available is not that great, actually. But what you'll see when you see Mr. Orange's, Mr. Orange's starting for his pardons, you'll see a place where you can click to go to where Jan 6 is, like here, granting pardons and commutations of sentences for certain offenses relating to the events at or near the United States Capitol on January 6th. So that takes you to another page, and there's really not the kind of information that I've been looking for. Right, only the best gingerbread pants. So, hey, yo. So there's that. So anyway, then I was thinking like, whoa, I think a lot of information is missing. And then I remembered like before the orange fella came back, I had been putting together a big file on all the J6ers and some of the worst ones that got some significant prison time here, like this person. This was another one that got some significant jail time. So if they got some prison time, some big jail time, I kind of printed them out and was going through it. right? Because it's not that easy to find at the moment. So statement of facts and such. But what I wanted to show was this. This is the FBI's list. All right. Now they're listing out here. I was trying to find the date, but the date is actually when they added it. So, thanks. Trying to find yes, that would have been rearrested. Well, exactly right. So what we're wanting to do, what I thought I would help, is to take you through this list. This is an old list, but it's better than no list, which is really, I have tried to find a list like this, even through other sources, but I've not found one yet. So this is why it's okay to go analog, everybody. It's okay. Anyway, I do remember going through this the last time quite a while ago. So we'll spend some time doing that with the J6ers. We wouldn't want anyone to forget anybody, right? So, yes. Oh, the lives. I do appreciate any of the likes that you all would be okay sending me. I do appreciate it. All right, let's get into it here. So first off, this is the entire list. Then it's printed from the Office of the Pardon Attorney. Now, there is a woman, Miss Liz Oyer, I think is her name. I'm terrible with names. I'm sorry, Liz. But she was fired. She was terminated because, ethics. But I'm sure a lot of these she had went, sorry, all the cool kids are going analog. For sure. Really, J6er was fine. Oh, love that. Okay. So anyway, she was terminated because she's got ethics and a code of honor. So she's out, but she was involved in a lot of this. The last few months, not as much. Oh, good. You follow her over here. Okay, everybody. So Liz Oyer, she is, oh my gosh, she's just so intelligent and knows how to kind of cut through the BS and get right to what the issue is, what the problem is, how to fix it, or if it can't be fixed, which I always appreciate. So she's great. We adore her. She's an incredibly intelligent woman. So she does have some great content over there. So here we go, January 21st. The very first pardon here is Ross William Ulbricht. Now, if you go onto the website, if you click on here, the website may or may not be available. A couple times it was available, sometimes it was not available. It's kind of sketchy with what's allowed. She does a lot of great information. Oh, absolutely. So she really does, and explains it quite nicely. So this Ross Ulbricht person, I didn't know anything about him. I had no idea until we came over here a little bit. Aiding and abetting distribution of drugs over internet, continuing criminal enterprise, which, if he's got enough people around him, could have been RICO, computer hacking, conspiracy, which is one of our inchoate offenses, right? Fraud with identification documents, money laundering conspiracy. So we've got two conspiracies in here. Right. And, we've kind of talked about conspiracy before. There are 3 inchoate offenses: attempt, attempt, like murder; solicitation, like, hey, if you'll, knock off my neighbor's whatever, I'll give you 10 grand, right? So that's solicitation, not the other kind, that kind. And then conspiracy, where 2 or more people have a common criminal goal and they're taking substantial steps towards going down the road, but the action, the actual illegal act, the harm has not been completed, has not been done. They've just done significant steps in preparing. All right. So those are our 3 inchoate offenses. Super quick reminder on that. Hello, Willie B. Hi, Olga. Hi, welcome in, everyone. Kaya, oh my gosh, good to see you. The whole gang's coming in, everyone. Woohoo! So with these inchoate offenses, you'll see he was charged with conspiracy a couple of times. So he's probably got some co-defendants. This is the fella that was doing the Silk Road stuff. Does anyone remember that? He was going under the name Dread Pirate Roberts, if you are familiar with the Princess Bride at all. So he was doing that kind of crap. And he had made it so that if you wanted something that was illegal, he made it in a way that you could do it online, right? Hello, hi Debbie. Hello, Anani. Oh my gosh, best name tonight. No, I love all the other names, but Anani, that's just fun to say. Hi Lee, welcome. So I have a picture of him here. Again, I missed out on this. There's a few things I've missed out on over the last few years, but so his occupation, darknet market operator. He's the founder of Silk Road. Criminal penalty, double life sentences, plus 40 years without the possibility of parole. So I just wanted to say, this is what he was charged with. 2 life imprisonments, plus after that, after 2 life sentences, 40 years. I have seen homicide cases where the perpetrator, defendant, had been completely out of control and gotten a much lower sentence. So this criminal penalty is huge. This is enormous, and involving prison time, right? I know, doubles, exactly. Oh, thanks, Marley. Thanks. Hi, Heidi. What's he up to now? That I do not know. But what I do know is he was the first person that the orange fella pardoned. So he was this is a full pardon, not a commutation. He was pardoned on the first day when the pardons went out. All right, so January 21st. And I think that that's really important to remember. Right. Because again, right, this all comes back to the boats in the Caribbean. I think that that is such an enormous issue. So on the boats, they're saying there's people bringing the bad stuff over, right? Now, if you're in the water, sure, I have got no idea, and they've got no evidence. But we did have evidence. We had enough evidence to convict for 2 life imprisonment sentences plus 40 years. So almost 3 life imprisonments, right? I mean, come on. So we're, getting rid of a boat, but this guy where the evidence is just completely set out, right, and he's pardoned. So that was interesting. Yeah, well, the other thing, too, I thought was interesting is that who remembers when he did his speech in front of, this big group of libertarians? Sorry, everybody. I've got, just a minute. Right, the libertarians. Now, I'm not going to go into and describe everything they do because I really don't know. But I do know they were pretty loud, actually, during this most recent campaign. On the one hand, good for you. On the other hand, they asked him if he got into the White House to pardon him. And so he was saying, they asked me to do that. So promise made, promise fulfilled, or whatever. Hi, Dee Dee. Hello. Think of the damage. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it's a lot. So, right. So here we go. First one was the Silk Road fella. So with that, and I just thought, let's just go ahead and put a little red star next to, here we go. Let's put a little red star next to the ones that involve the rugs, okay? So we don't forget. All right, let's look up the next ones here. So we've got January 22nd, 2 pardons were sent out. This was Terrence Dale Sutton Jr. And who was the other guy? Here it is. Andrew Zabowski. These 2 fellas, oh my gosh, were police officers, as best as I can figure out here. They were police officers, and what had happened was this first guy, he was charged with murder in the 2nd degree, conspiracy, obstruction of justice. They tried to get rid of the evidence, and aiding and abetting. So he was sentenced to 63 months imprisonment, 3 years of supervised release, conditioned upon 100 hours of community service. Now, anytime you have community service out there, you really want to look at the charge. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you. So you got to be careful with the community service. Now, I may come on and I may say, we don't need to be crashing the entire justice system because of a few bad apples. We just need to start recognizing the bad apples. And I would say in this kind of a situation, it's a bit, in my opinion, my personal opinion, it's a bit risky to put someone charged with second-degree murder in 100 hours community service. Are you following me on this one, everybody? This is my this is my soapbox moment where I'm like, I'm sorry, he's a murderer, and let's go put him for 100 hours, like in the library, right? Yeah, so this one is Terrence. So when we flip the page, there is, I've got the whole list here. So the next one over here, I guess, was his partner, and this was Andrew Zabowski, also part of it. And there was a chase. I mean, the potential defendant ran, and by run, I believe he was like just on like a scooter too. And they resulted in the suspect passed. And then these two fellas and the police tried to cover it up. So 48 months for him, 3 years supervised release. See, no community service here. He was charged with conspiracy, obstruction of justice, and aiding and abetting. And he was given a full pardon. All right. Full pardon for these two cops. All right. And I'm not going to go in and start, bashing on the cops, but that's not good. You don't want to see that. All right. Next up, we've got a batch of people charged for violating the same law, but for kind of different reasons. So, and some didn't have any jail, but were just, found to have been responsible for that. Okay. So these all have to be federal offenses. No state charges can be pardoned or commuted. They have to go through the state system. So Mr. Orange does not have authority to pardon any kind of a state case. There is no exception. It has to be federal law. It has to be federal law. Unless the state, I suppose the state could say we withdraw our charges and just leave the felony charges up to you. That would be the only way that could happen. So, well, Bruce Wayne's mother, that pardon power is probably the only thing that made any sense to anybody when reading through the immunity case. And I disagree with it, but it's one of those things where they said, listen, that's one of his core powers is the pardon situation. I do not agree with it, but I'm not sure Congress would be able to kind of pull that one back into the zone. I'm not sure with that. So, he's selling. Oh, absolutely. Good evening. No worries. We're just going over the people that have been pardoned here by Mr. Orange. So the first one, Joan Bell in the District of Columbia. And what violation do we have? Conspiracy against rights. And this is the FACE Act. So a lot of people probably have not heard of the FACE Act or, dealt with it very much. But it's like freedom against, contraceptives or whatever, environment. Basically, it's clinic environment. Basically, any kind of a clinic that is operating, and of course, we're talking about Planned Parenthood as well as other, I'm sure, nonprofits. There is a law that says you cannot go too many steps outside of the realm. People get really, passionate about this issue, and I understand, but you should not be pushing people around right outside the clinic or making it so they can't get in the clinic. So this is one of the very important acts passed to not only help people going into clinics, but also to give some guidance to the people protesting, right? Now, for as many protests as I've been on, I've yet to meet someone that said, I'm not going to follow the rules because they're dumb. No, they've been like, okay, what's the area we can be in? What can we do? How loud are things? Are these lights okay? Those kinds of things tend to be done first. So you scope it out and make sure. But in this situation, we have over and over and over again the violations of the FACE Act, and it was just passed. Access to Clinic Entrances Act. Thanks, Angel. Oh my gosh, appreciate it. Yes, very important. So we have Joan Bell, right, 27 months. Coleman Boyd, again, just another violation of the FACE Act. So I'm imagining they probably were blocking the entrance for different people to go in and probably screaming at them and such. This was 5 years probation, so no prison, but probation. That's been pardoned. Joel Curry here, no sentencing, but had a charge, the offense of conspiracy, again, for the same issue. I think all of these people were part of a group that just went out and, did the group stuff. Oh yeah, Kaya. Oh yeah, it was pretty bad. And the fact that they were able to pass the FACE Act is like huge. And then Jonathan Darnell, that's 34 months imprisonment. Caroline Davis, 3 years probation, 1 year non-reporting probation. All right. And those would be concurrent. So together, if your sentence is concurrent, you do them at the same time. They're consecutive. You do one right after the next, of course. Now, for her, she was charged with conspiracy to interfere with access to clinic entrances, aiding and abetting interference with access to clinic entrances, and conspiracy interference with clinic access. So again, another person in that same spot. So it's really difficult, right, to think, all right, we've got these people who are clearly violating a specific act that Congress passed that went through the process, the bill on Capitol Hill, and just going through and saying, yeah, let's just pardon anybody that was involved in that. So that's the complete undermining of the criminal justice system, along with, of course, the J6ers. So we've got a bunch of pretty significant violations. So Aya here, we had 3 years probation. And again, that's the FACE Act. That was out of Tennessee. Chester Gallagher, 16 months imprisonment. So, that's enough to make you not happy. 3 years supervised release, and over here, conspiracy to obstruct access to clinic providing reproductive health services, a violation of the FACE Act, and then conspiracy against the rights, clinic access obstruction. All right, again, huge interference and violations of the law that was legally passed, right? That was legally passed. The justice system is corrupt. True, Mike, you are correct, but it's always been corrupt, and it's not been corrupted like this. So this is a new kind of corruption versus 15 years ago, right? So I can't say it's not corrupted in some places. Basically, since Prohibition, our criminal system's been kind of jacked up wrong. He has no idea that he was pardoned. Really, Heritage is in charge. Oh, I can believe that. I can absolutely believe that. Hello, June Marie. I know, fighting the reproductive health, right? It's not, all right. All right, next. So that's the Chester Gallagher one. Then we have Herb Garotti here, 27 months imprisonment. And again, they may have, if you've got a short sentence, like 26 or 36 months, and some people are like, that's not short. But I'm like, it's like, 3 years? 27 months is like 2 years and a couple more months. And then you've got 36 months of supervised release. Like, that's not bad. And they may have already served the sentences, depending on when the conviction date was. And it looks like May 15th. So, yeah, he would only have had a few months left, really. Well, 12. All right, William Goodman here, 27 months again, conspiracy against rights. And so we have that conspiracy in co-ed offense again, which kind of is its own charge, even if the crime hasn't taken place, because the crime is putting it together. What happens to the clean slate law? That I don't know. I'm unfamiliar with the clean slate law. Let me just look it up here. I have not heard of that since the 80s with Ronald Reagan. So let's see. Various state and proposed federal laws, right? Older criminal records, sure. It looks like it's legislation, but I see that it passed in New York. Looks like 2004. It was there. Nope, that's New Zealand. Sorry. The Clean Slate Initiative. It looks to me like it's not been passed at the federal level. It looks like we've got some states like New York and Minnesota that have separate statutes. So it sounds like they are going through the state road in order to have that. All right. Could be a Connecticut thing. I wouldn't doubt there would be multiple states. What's been happening over the last few years, as you all know, of course, when Congress gets so tangled up that they can't do anything because they're all tangled up or for one reason or another, then the states will say like, well, this is what we're going to do then because the federal government's screwing this up. We're going to put in our state law. Yes. Well, and Tony, I just don't think it is coded. I'm not sure they're really even using codes anymore. I don't know that they need to. Hello, a villain from Scotland. Hello, welcome. All right, enough of that. Here we go back in because this is all like heartbreaking, but I think it's important. I think it's very important. Dennis Green, this was Tennessee, time served, 3 years supervised release. Condition upon 6 months home confinement. So this fella, he's already done his time served. He's on supervised release. So that just means that the pardon wouldn't affect any prison time for him, but it's now off of his record, right? And that's probably something a lot of people don't understand either, is like, well, what exactly happens if you get pardoned when it comes to your own record, right? Let me see if I can pull up the rule here. Right. 609. All right, let's peek real quick here at Rule 609. These are the federal rules of evidence. These are the rules you have to follow in order to do any kind of a trial or put any evidence forward. This was one of the things that I was recommending to Miss Haba when she was doing the criminal case in New York with Mr. Orange. She didn't seem to really understand there were procedural rules, and so I had asked her if she wanted to borrow my copy of the rules. She didn't respond, but I just put it out there. So hold on a second. So we are very careful about using prior criminal acts against someone in court. All right, let me be very clear. If you have a criminal conviction and you're a witness, we're going to be really careful about that because the court is saying just because you've done this before, you have a criminal conviction, does not mean you did it this time. We can't just assume that happened. That would not be fair. So we have to be careful. The key to criminal conviction evidence is to have the defendant open the door. And oh my gosh, that's something else. When you're just sitting there in a trial, as I'm sure you all have as an attorney, you're sitting at your table and the defendant's like, oh, I want to testify. It's like, oh, all right, here we go. I got a special notebook just for defendants. So anyway, if their attorney starts talking about prior criminal acts, the door's been open and the prosecutors can walk through that door and bring up anything they want. So you have to be really careful about that if you're a defense attorney. But overall, if you have a pardon, that cannot be used against you. Here, it says right here, effect of a pardon. Conviction has been the subject of a pardon here. Based on findings, a person has been rehabilitated, whatever. It doesn't really mean why. They don't care why. But basically, it's a finding of innocence. So if you've been pardoned, it will not count against your criminal record, right? So hi, Tiffany. Welcome. Hello, Heidi. How do you establish a pattern? All right. That's an exception because, of course, everything has an exception. But we do have rules for modus operandi or proving, that a certain crime has been done in a certain way repeatedly, right? That would be a modus operandi or MO that the defendant would have. And if you have enough of that, you can go forward. You'd have to check with the judge and make sure that's okay. But if you're showing a pattern, a very distinct pattern, that is allowed because courts have said this is trustworthy information. just because you're pardoned doesn't mean it's really erased, only for a job and other things. Right. Yes, I mean, it's not erased, but if I wanted to use a criminal conviction in court to show your character, I wouldn't be able to do that because it's been pardoned. Other things, of course, would be that aren't included in our rules of evidence would be things like reputation or whatever, you know. So it's not going to have necessarily a direct impact outside of work or a few other jobs that you can now have because you've been pardoned. But in court, that's pretty major. Can pardons be revoked if they're proof they're not? No. No, Angel. Once the pardon has been given, it's done. Like, that's the final answer. That's the last stop on the trip. You can't appeal pardons. You can't lessen them or make them larger. The only thing that can happen is another pardon coming into play, but that would even have to be under a different code section. So, hi, Upgrade. Welcome, welcome. So that's tough. Once it's done, right? All right. So all these people here getting pardons, right? Whatever. All right. We've got Lauren Handy. Again, she's a huge activist and goes around doing a lot of these things here. So 57 months imprisonment, 36 months here, charged with conspiracy because of the FACE Act again. Paula Harlow, again, the FACE Act. John Hinshaw, FACE Act again. Heather Idoni, which is the FACE Act. So I guess my question would be, everybody, Congress went forward and both sides agreed enough to get the law passed at that time. So my question is, what does Congress need to do to make it so that these kinds of sentences stick? So that people, and also deterrence, which, you know, this administration's like, we got to find deterrence. If we treat one really, really bad, then everyone will see how bad the U.S. is, which is their excuse for a lot of things like El Salvador and such. So then my question is, what is it that would need to be cleaned up in the FACE Act to make it so more people would feel deterred from this? Like, I'm not going in if I have a mandatory 5 years prison. Or in order to make it so that the harm that's done kind of is in the same vein as with the crime that's been done, along with how it's harmed the person in there. Oh, thanks, Bet. I'm glad you think so. I find it fascinating, and then I was like, man, I'm going to turn this on and make everyone else listen. False charges by my interference with. Oh my gosh. Oh Mike, I tell you, I mean, a lot of these cases get really tangled up, and I cannot sit here in all honesty and say that some people don't use the legal system to harm other people. That's not true. I mean, of course, Mr. Orange, right? Mr. Orange would be the king of that. He's the king of using the legal system to harm others. And I don't doubt that it also happens. My only bit that I try to talk about is that our judges aren't going to go down that road very easily because they're going to lose their jobs. And as long as we've got decent middle of the road judges, we're going to be okay. And they do try to keep that, but to keep that going. But I believe you. I mean, I absolutely believe you. Big deterrent, large part of that would be paid to the facility. That's a good idea. Issue true social edict that he decided in Biden's, well, right, and he can't. A lot of presidents, I think all the presidents actually, even John Adams, George Washington only had like 3 pardons, and it was some like weird situation. I think it was smugglers. And John Hancock was like, if you do not pardon my buddies, you're not getting any more wine. And so, however that went down, I believe, and this is a rough story that I'm not quite fleshing the details out on, because the point is lots of presidents will come through and knock out the prior president's executive orders. The other thing too, though, to remind everybody about, you can't just come in and say you're done. You have to list it out. You have to be specific in how it's posted, et cetera, and so on. There's a certain code that you have to follow. But on the other hand, the reason why it's so easy for the presidents to do that is because it's not law, because they're not changing any laws. They're not being legislative, which is in that branch. And as long as it's not that road, it's kind of like getting a new boss in who's changing all the rules, right? And harming and unaliving people. No, the last part's not true, but you know what I mean. Must have been really good wine. That I don't know. Yikes. But yeah, I mean, they've been fighting it since the very beginning. If they feel their presence may end up profiting what they're protesting, some will avoid it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a cost-benefit analysis, right? And we had a very, I can't even remember his name, is Learned Hand, I think, was a judge. That was like his actual name. And he had a whole bunch of theories about how that goes, too. Those who do weaponization of the law to falsely arrested should be recognized and prosecuted. I agree, Mike. I absolutely agree. And I know there are laws out there. Now, enforcing those laws, as we have seen with this administration, can be a little wonky. So if you're in a jurisdiction where you've said, look, I've been done wrong, and nobody there's willing to take your case, you might have to go a little bit further out from where you're located to another place where they aren't, buddies and pals with the regular people there. Again, I'm not saying the criminal justice system is bad or that it's entirely corrupt. I'm not going to say that either. But you got to kind of dance around a little bit. You got to play the game in order to make it to the road you want to go to. Not legal advice, just legal information here. All right, next up, here we go. We did Harlow here, John here again, and Heather Idoni. So, like I said, I think they're part of one group here. These are all FACE Act. But look at how many people were doing things that would harm someone or prevent someone from going into a reproductive clinic, getting charged with this over and over and over again, and now they've all been pardoned, right? So, legal bingo cards, oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. That would be really fun. Most modern day industry, yes, I agree. Right, so here we go. Gene Marshall, again, with the FACE Act. Christopher Moskinski, 6 months imprisonment. And also with the imprisonment piece, the court will determine via pre-sentence investigation and a look into the backstory of every single person to figure out what the best sentencing is. And so if you're getting 6 months imprisonment, you're not just trespassing. You're doing more. There has to be a level of harm done that would back up this judge's 6 months imprisonment claim, or else they get appealed, of course, right? If it's too far. So next we've got Justin Phillips, conspiracy against rights, clinic access obstruction. Paul Place, a violation of the FACE Act. We have 3 years probation. Then we have Jay Smith, the FACE Act here, 10 months imprisonment. Paul Vaughn, conspiracy to obstruct access again. Again, this is all FACE violations. Let's see, Bevelyn Betty Williams, 41 months imprisonment. That's quite a bit. Plus 2 years supervised release. Yikes. Again, the FACE Act. And then Calvin Zastro, 6 months imprisonment, 3 years supervised release. Again, here we've got blocking reproductive health services. And that's going to be a violation of the FACE Act here. They're literally, yeah. Right. It's, it's hard to, right. I'll keep going. I'll get on my next soapbox in a minute. I'm promising myself only 2 soapboxes per live. All right, here's Ava Zastro here. 3 years probation, violation of the FACE Act here. It looks like she had already served anyway, but now it's not on her record anymore. Then a couple more. Again, these were all done on the same day. So all of these. We have, this is just run over from the prior page here. All right, February 10th, we have 1 pardon here. Hello, CT. Good to see you. We've got one pardon. So Rod R. Blagojevich. That sounds Russian. And I say that without trying to be facetious or rude, but that sounds Russian to me. We've got 168 months imprisonment as amended, 24 months supervised release, $20,000 fine. The former Illinois governor? What? Oh my gosh, really? Wow. Oh my gosh, everybody. Oh my goodness. All right. So here we go. This is what 168 months imprisonment here, and then, $20,000 fine. Well, that's, gonna have to give that back. Wire fraud under the color of official right. 8 counts. Conspiracy, attempt to commit extortion under color of official right, conspiracy to solicit and solicitation of bribes, 3 counts in making false statements. Whoa. He tried, oh my gosh, my goodness gracious. Oh my gosh, that's right. Oh, I had forgotten about that. So my question then, everybody, why would Mr. Orange pardon this person? What would be if all your faculties were working, what would be the reason why he would want to pardon this fella? I'm just curious. He was on The Apprentice? Oh my gosh. What? He was selling Obama's Senate seat. Yes, I'm learning so many things, everyone. Right. Well, and I don't know what's happened to him. He's a Republican? Okay. I don't know what's happened to him since all of this came down, but, the first thing I thought of was, would he try to get back into political office, right? It would have to be a small level of political office because there's some violations of the Constitution that may or may not work. Who knows? But do you think he would ever try to get back into politics? Went back to the blue. Well, okay. License plate is pennies versus going back to. Well, right. Well, yeah. That license plate situation is very upsetting. All those who might be convicted. Right. It seems like that, crazy. It certainly does seem like that. But alas, if you don't have some kind of personal relationship with the orange or personal relationship with any of the orange's minions, I'm not sure that you would get a pardon. And you'd have to have enough money to make it worth Mr. Orange's time. For even trying. Oh, I agree. Right. Yeah, that's a good question. So unique. That's a great question. Here we go. Next up. That was not my second box. I'm just going to push that down the road. All right. I'm moving the goalpost, but that's okay. All right. March 4th, we've got one commutation. A commutation then is a little bit different from full pardon, but it has the same effect when it comes to the legitimacy of your testimony in court. All right. So Jean Pinkard here, 1 year and 1 day's imprisonment. And for a lot of people, you're like, why would we do 1 day, 1 year plus 1 day? A lot of our all of our sentences are set out. Here's a little extra for you here, everybody. All right. So we have A, B, C, D, and New York has an E. So these are our felonies, right? Felonies. That doesn't look right, but pretend it's correctly spelled. So if we're going to, let me get another colored pen here. Oh, here we go. Send them to the big house. All right, okay, here we go. We'll do black. Here we go. That's a blast from the past. So down here is going to be the least. So it's like 2 to 4 years you could get in prison. And then the A is going to be all of your premeditated, your felony murders, those kinds of things are going to be Class A. And so Class A is going to be life, no parole, or I don't even like to say it, or we'll just put X here. All right, so unaliving. B is going to be, let's go back to the bottom again. So 2 to 4, D is going to be 5 years. A C is typically, I'm just giving you round numbers here, is going to be 5 to 10 years. And then a B is going to be like 10 years to, 20. All right. So here we've got premeditated homicide. A B would be murder in the second degree. And everyone's like, well, what does that mean? And I would say to that, it just whatever. It just, it's clearly murder. Not a manslaughter situation then, but it's not prepped out. It's going to be second degree. And then for the C, we're going to be looking at, again, lower levels of homicide. So we've got manslaughter in here. Manslaughter, we've got a voluntary and involuntary manslaughter. Those will also come in as well. And then down to the minutia down here. But the thing is, all right, the thing is that if you want a misdemeanor, if you get a misdemeanor, and there's lots of different kinds of how misdemeanors work. That's not even close to misdemeanor. I'm not even close, everybody. That's like, I feel bad about that one. Here we go. We're going to call this that's not working either. You know what I'm saying, right? Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. Misdemeanor. And we also have an aggravated misdemeanor in here. No one, I know when it shows, right? All right, here we go. Okay, who spelled it out? VC, you're my hero. Thank you. Right. Oh my goodness. Okay, demeanor. All right, you know what I'm saying. All right. So misdemeanor, the very lowest level is 1 year and 1 day. So that's the calculation we have for this one. 1 year and 1 day, because if it's less than 1 year or just 1 year, then you're going to be in the infraction place. You're going to be looking at the county jail as opposed to prison. All right, so misdemeanor is going to be 1 year plus a day, and then an aggravated misdemeanor and so on will play with that. So it's 1 year, 1 day, and then like up to 2 years typically is what it is. All right, so we're in the misdemeanor area that I can't spell, and the amount of time that they give you is dependent on what's going on. So if you just get 1 year, you'd be in county. If you got a year and a day, you'd be in prison. And it's just a misdemeanor. I know. It's terrible. I got to work on my spelling. But the point is, that's why the language is set like that. Now, the majority of the people that I've spoken to that have been in jail, getting ready for trial, after trial, they're in jail and then, off to prison. A lot of defendants that I've spoken to at various points in my life have said it's easier to get through the days in prison than it is in a county jail. County jail's there for just like quick, a couple of months on a contempt, or, you need to dry out after a, DWI or whatever. Short term, they do not have what's really needed for any kind of long term. So like privileges and space is not really that available at the county jail level. So a lot of people are like, well, let's just go here, because if nothing else, they'll at least have more services, and it will be, a better, it's, how'd they put it? Like, it's easier to do the time there because there's more distractions. Just as a quick little insight into the jail prison system there. All right, so where was I? Hold on here. This is very important. This was very important before I started sketching things out. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. It's like right above where I was writing. What's happening? Oh, my gosh. Actually, and I knew the other thing too, Heidi. I had several clients that I was working with, and they were asking to go to a certain prison. Like the prison that's in my state, it's awful. I mean, most prisons are, but the one closest to where he would have been in doing time, he asked to go to another state because we had this agreement with another state. If we got too full, we could take a few of them down there, and then, whatever happened, we'd bring a few of theirs back up here. But the, excuse me, the client was like, I can That's the only one anywhere near us where I can smoke in prison. And so that's why they requested it. So you don't really think about these things in your daily life, going through and being like, okay, I'm going to have a piece of cake right now, not share it with my friends like Amanda does all the time. Hello. But you have to acknowledge they're just two different kinds of environments. And our repeat offenders know that. So they know where to ask to be. Are they motivated to pardon all these folks so they can? That I would highly doubt, Tony. I would highly doubt. I think this was a moment where it was like, okay, how do we, fulfill our promises for the people that already paid me basically for a pardon. The J6ers are not going to be included in here. We'll get to those in a minute. It certainly is, Heidi. It certainly is. Like a buddy system. Right. County lockup. Well, right. As you well know, VC. As you well know. Wonder how many each hand is wearing during the... Yeah, I know, right? This is my major workout for the day, John. How'd you know? Shh, don't tell anybody. All right, here we go. We're going to keep going. So we're still in February, I believe. Oh, nope, we're in March. We've got the former... Did you say it was the governor of Illinois? The former governor there. And then this fella was... into rugs. All right. So again, we're looking at that boat in the Caribbean, and we're looking at this fella, high-ranking fella that was part of rugs, and nothing happened after he was pardoned. Here we go, Brian Kelsey. Ooh, that sounds really familiar. I hope it's not what I know. 21 months imprisonment, so that's less than 2 years. We also have to take into consideration, oh no, puzzle, everybody. It's puzzle time. How did that happen? All right, wish me luck, everyone. Wish me luck. Here we go. It's blue and white and blue. Did we make it? Oh, we made it. Oh my gosh. I get so stressed every time. Every time the puzzle comes on, I'm like, no. No. You're right. Hey. Oh my gosh. Yes, it did come quick. It came really fast this time. Oh my goodness. All right, well, we're going to keep on going here. All righty. So, oh, no worries, Doughboy. No worries. I did 2 uploads over to the tube, but in the last 48 hours. So that might be able to help get you through until I post another one, which will be very soon. So this fella here, 21 months here, conspiracy to defraud the U.S., aiding and abetting the acceptance of excessive contributions. So excessive contributions, that sounds like bribes, right? Oh, is the gift goal? Did you all do the gift goal already? Oh my gosh. Oh, thanks. All right, no more pantless gingerbread. Let's see. Oh my gosh, thank you, everybody. I know it was probably not the most appropriate thing, but it was fun. So let me see if I can make it happen. I need training. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can find a potato that's a decent price. All right, I found one. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this one's really funny. All right, here we go. So I picked that, and then let's do, we'll do 50 of them. Just so we don't have to reset our goals again. But thanks for reminding me. Oh my goodness, this one's so cute. Super cute, everybody. Don't feel obligated in this economy, though, all right? Woo, here we go. The festive tater. Oh my gosh, there it is. Oh, I love it so much. Oh my gosh, thanks everybody. You are all just so sweet. I appreciate you. Oh my goodness. Are these people paying for pardons? I would say yeah, but not just like simple. Not like, meeting somebody in a empty parking lot, like, here's 2 million, where's my pardon kind of situation, which was what happened in the United States right after the Civil War. But now there's too much surveillance, so they can't do that. I know, right? Oh my gosh, look at all of the potatoes. Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh, thanks, Ruffles. Thanks. Yeah, sometimes we get turned around a little bit, but then Amanda's like, I'm not going to take you to Disney World if you don't knock it off. And we're like, okay, you got it. Everybody get in line. Oh my goodness. All right, so fraudster here. March 20th, Thomas Edward Caldwell, tampering with documents or proceedings. So again, we've got some kind of fraud here going on. March 25th, we've got Devin Archer, 1 year and 1 day. Again, now you know why they're saying that 1 day at the end of it, right? I've already reached the holiday potato. Oh my goodness. All right. We'll get we'll do one more, but just do one. Here we go. Let me see. All right, I gotta find a really cute one again though. Let's see if we can do that. Ba 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 ba. This is your interim music. Ba da ba ba ba. All right, there we go. Do that one. All right, here we are, everybody. Let's see. We only use the cute ones. All right, so we had no pants, gingerbread. We had holiday tater. Oh, do we need a? Let's. Oh my god. All right. Here's this. All right, here's the smarty pants tater. Oh my gosh, he might not be a tater, but I'm gonna call him a tater because that's hilarious. All right, here we go. As we're going down the final line here, everyone. Oh my goodness, we still have law and order in this country. We do, but we also have a few people that are trying to the wavy arms. I do that every time with Amanda. There is law and order, but there are some people that are trying to get around it. That's not new, but it certainly hasn't been as important or as loud as it has been right now. So I would say that. Right. Look at that. Oh my gosh, everybody, you're so sweet. He's like, just let it cook. All right, here we go. Too many squirrels, forgive me. ADHD, everybody. All right, conspiracy for securities fraud is here. So white collar crime as well. So Devin Archer out of New York, probably friends. Look at this, $43 million in restitution. Not anymore. $43 million that he owed to the victims here. And that's no longer in play. So that's unfortunate. March 27th, Benjamin Dello, 30 months imprisonment, violations of the Bank Secrecy Act. So, all right, that's not great. Then we've got Gregory Dwyer, 1 year probation, $150,000 fine, violating the Bank Secrecy, I'm calling it Secrecy Act. We'll just go with that. Arthur Hayes, 2 years probation, with 6 months home confinement. Again, the Bank Secrecy Act. HDR Global Trading Limited. How are you going to pardon them? That's a corporation, right? 2 years. See, this doesn't make any sense. What? This doesn't make any sense. This business was sentenced to 2 years unsupervised probation, which I suppose if they pulled in someone to, go around the business, like Orange has an ex-federal judge that's looking into all of his books. So I suppose you could have unsupervised probation, but I'm not really sure exactly how that would work. Pockets were like, oh, exactly. I know, it really is. Liz Oyer's keeping a tally of those. Oh my gosh, $3 billion of, oh my goodness, you're right. And I've seen a couple of her posts on restitution and fees as well. And it's just like, oh my gosh, yikes. All right, Arthur Hayes, who I think was also a president. I could be wrong. And 2 years probation here. So we've got, 48 months. I was wrong. Imprisonment, 3 years supervised relief here. Trevor Milton, Fraud again, and Samuel Reed, another fraud, and that's 18 months probation, so no prison. I do, Freddie. I do. They get recorded, and then I move them. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much, everybody. And then I will upload them onto my tube over there. It just takes me just a little bit of time. Arthur B. Hayes in New York was a president. Is that what you're saying? Oh, Rutherford Hayes, right? You just don't see a lot of Arthur Hayeses. You know what I'm saying? So, anywho. Next, we've got March 28th. He does have a soft spot for fraudulent people and white-collar crime, it seems. Next, Jason Galenas here. 135 months imprisonment plus a supervised release. And this is what? This is $37 million. All right, so for goodness sake, 173 months imprisonment down here, 60 months consecutive, 3 years supervised release, and $47 million in restitution. So that's like almost $100 million in lost restitution for the victims. So we've got conspiracy to commit fraud, in the securities fraud and so on down here. My goodness gracious. Oh, looks like we've got two more. So Aussie Media Inc. Again, that's a business here. 1 year probation and restitution. So, all right, we've got securities fraud. Carlos Ra, is that a Ro? It's a Roy. My bad. I was like, it's not rocks, is it? All right, Carlos Roy Watson. 116 months imprisonment. 2 years supervised release, and $36 million in restitution. What? Oh, I know. Oh my gosh, Kaya, the victimless crime. I didn't think we would ever get through that part of our history. But we did. So now we've got another securities fraud situation here, and wire fraud, and aggravated identity theft. It'd be an aggravated identity theft based off of the literal amount of harm that was done. So if there was a large amount of money that was fraudulently taken, or if your identity was used in order to, go in and, max out all the credit cards, something like that. So if it's a higher level of money during the identity theft, then they're going to bump it up for the money part. All right, here we go. Next, April 22nd, we've got Michelle Fiore. No sentence for her. Paul Walzak, 18 months for him. Conspiracy to commit wire fraud, 6 counts, and not sentenced. Must have been a first offense. Next, willful failure to pay trust fund taxes. What? A failure to file return information. So he is like not willing to deal with taxes. So he got charged and was sentenced to 18 months and $4 million in restitution. All right. Right. Exactly. That's true. DV, that's a rough road. The DV and the SA roads are incredibly difficult for attorneys to go down, and everybody else. But you've got a lot of things that you're carrying around if you're the attorney for the victim in those cases. Next, May 27th, Scott Howard Jenkins, 120 months imprisonment. Again, he may have already served that. Conspiracy to commit bribery concerning programs receiving federal funds. What? What is this? Because the orange fellow won't release any of the funds to where the funds are supposed to go. And so he's saying, well, there's all of this fraud, right? Isn't he saying, doesn't he say that all the time? Waste and fraud is what we're looking for. We don't want any waste or fraud. And then right here in May, so after, he's been here for a few months, right here, we've got tons of fraud. Look at all this fraud in here. And he's like, okay, well, you're now pardoned. So this is really frustrating. Doge waste fraud. Yeah, exactly right. Listen, none of the presidents, and I know this is hard to believe, but none of the presidents are just sitting there thinking like, all right, just bring me all the records of everyone in the United States that has any possibility of tax fraud. And I'll just look through those and decide who I don't like. No, that's not how this works. These people, and the reason why I bring up Orange is because these are people making a call or have a friend or know somebody in order to get time clocked with Mr. Orange. It's just that simple. So they'll go in and make their case and be like, this is really awful, but what I'm really trying to tell you is I've got a $2 million plane I'm going to give you or whatever, right? Right, exactly. It really is. It really is. Preposterous, I think, is the best word for it. Yeah, I'm trying not to get dragged under the bus, VC, with the Somalis because it's so awful. But I tell you what, again, if there's another state that's like not going to put up with this shenanigans, it's going to be Minnesota, especially because it's going to start freezing up there soon. And that's like a Russian winter. And you know what happened to Napoleon? I'm just putting that out there. James Callahan here, no Suttons, filing false labor union reports. All right. Yeah, don't do that, dude. Don't do that. Now he or she was given a pardon. All right, so now we're in May. We have 16 pardons and 6 commutations. He's trying to build a posse. I know, right? I mean, it's, again, I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. It's like when the Joker gets out away from the Batman. And so the Joker's like, let's let all the bad people out. And so he goes to the prison. Mr. Freeze is there, and Poison Ivy's there, and all the weirdos are all there. And he's like, come on, criminals, come on out. We're going to take over the world. That's what's happening. That's what's happening in my mind. He's this guy's Mr. Freeze. He's coming out. So, dude, it's a worrisome for sure. Oh, there's so many. I know. I know. It's a lot. Oh, here we go. Kevin Eric Baisden, 90 days imprisonment, time served, 100 days imprisonment, suspended. Ooh, all right. So that if it's suspended, it means that it's put on the side. It's like we're going to pause that. And if you do good work, then we won't send you in for that amount of time. But if you screw up, we're going to bring you back. Here's another suspended sentence. They're relatively rare, but it does happen. It does happen. It's just another tool that judges can use to find the right, appropriate sentence for the situation. So 2 suspended sentences. The offense was shoplifting, second-degree theft, which is based off of money, how much value the item was that they stole. Bail Reform Act, I don't know what that means, and unless there was some kind of violation of his bail. And second-degree theft again. So again, this is based on the amount. You're only going to be able to get to first degree here. All right. So he's like, and I think theft goes all the way down, at least in my jurisdiction, goes down, I think, to 5th degree, which is the lowest level. That's like your $30, stolen out of the register so you can buy bread for your family situation. Right. Well, you can look. This is the Office of the Pardon Attorney is where I got who he has pardoned. This was on there last time I looked, but again, there's a lot that's getting removed on the regular. It's paid a pardon, absolutely. And because of how our pardon system is set up and because of the immunity given to the president from SCOTUS, there's not a lot we can do about it at this point. Mark Bashaw. There's no punishment here. Violated lawful orders in the Army. All right. Well, that one we don't have much on. Julie Crisley, 84 months imprisonment. Oh my gosh, $4 million, over $4 million. Conspiracy to commit bank fraud, 5 counts. Wire fraud, defrauding the U.S. So again, we have another fraud case here that he's signing a pardon on. So wouldn't this be against the Doge? The Chrisleys. Right. See, and I never watched that. See, and this is like the wife and this is the husband, right? You can't even watch the show anymore. Yes, I understand. He got more, so he must have done more. And he has $17 million that was included. this money will not be kept, right? So that goes back. Right, and then again, the same kind of charges, and we've got tax evasion in there. All right, Lawrence Duran, 50 years imprisonment. 50 years? Oh my goodness, I can't remember seeing a sentence that big for anybody. And $87 million. All right. Right, exactly. How would a needle in a haystack get in front of DJT? The people bringing it to him. There's people bringing it. He's not doing any of this other than if someone's written him a letter or asked him on the phone. But the people being requested here have written a letter to him or have someone they know who knows the situation with him, and then he drafts them up. Yeah, I have no doubt about that. Conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud. Healthcare fraud. 11 counts of healthcare fraud. Yikes. Conspiracy to defraud the United States and receive and pay health care kickbacks. Oh my goodness, not the kickbacks. A conspiracy to commit money laundering, 18 counts, structuring to avoid reporting requirements. How can we pardon someone 50 years imprisonment, $87 million, and health care fraud, right? Which is, what they've been looking for. But it's like he checks all the boxes, so let's give him a pardon. And he's pardoned. That's it, right? Oh, hi, Chris. Hi, Chris. We're just going through Mr. Orange's pardons that he has issued. And so far, it's been a lot of people involved with illegal rugs and fraud and stuff like that. What about the party of law and order? I'm not sure where they went. They got knocked down and did not get back up again, I guess is what I'm saying. CEO, Florida Senator. Really? Oh, I didn't know. Yeah. Oh, you bet. Yeah. So I don't know about that one. This one's like, ugh, that one's really bad. Okay. Kentrell Golden, a felon in possession of a firearm. Interesting. That was another thing I was going to say too, is, just curious as to the racial spreads, right? So how many of each different categories are included, because it's not looking like very many people at this point have been pardoned that are not part of a particular race. But, that's just my thoughts on it. Just my personal thoughts. All right, we've got Michael Gerard Grimm, 8 months imprisonment, 1 year supervised release, and 200 hours of community service. Oh, come on. And that's $148,000. Look at this. Aiding and assisting in the preparation of false and fraudulent tax returns. So do you really want him working on your books in the public library, right? This is another one of those things where I'm like, why are you giving him community service? That's not going to be good. Right. Larry Hoover, is that the one you're looking at? Is it the one you're thinking about? He didn't make much money. So, oh yeah, he did. You can take an educated guess. We love those. Okay, this is the person. Yeah, we'll get there in a minute, but we're going one person at a time here. So this fella, again, this 200 hours of community service is a lot. Next, Michael Ray Harris, 235 months imprisonment, commuted to expire on January 19th of 2021. 5 year supervised release and $80,000. Hello, Dolphin. It could be, listen up, people. It could be that he's pardoning the ones that Biden in particular had caught doing wrongful acts. It's possible. All right, so this guy here, conspiracy to possess and with intent to distribute and aid and abet, possession and distribution of, that's a lot of words. But this product here, all right, and then aiding and abetting possession with intent to distribute, here, possession with intent to distribute. So again, I don't know. Was he on the boat in the Caribbean? No, that's good because he, would have been blown up. But what I'm saying is, look at this. He's been pardoned, and look at the significant rug charges that he was found guilty of, right? Oh, thanks, Shelly. Oh, I appreciate that. Oh, so sweet. All right, here we go, everybody. We'll shine a spotlight on this fella. We've got Larry Hoover, life imprisonment. Do you have any background on Larry? I'm not that familiar with his case, but I can't say that word. The Ruggs conspiracy, continuing criminal enterprise, so that could be a RICO possibility. Use of persons under the age of 18, that's not cool. Ooh, yikes. It seems like a lot of them are very wealthy, yes. Under 18, oh my gosh, that's so disturbing. Distribution of this item, use of a communication facility and committing the Ruggs conspiracy. So that's like you're using the phone in a certain place. Substance, okay, thank you. Yeah, all right. What was I calling it? Well, whatever. Distribution of substance, 2 counts. Use of firearm in the commission of a substance trafficking crime. Major. This is major here. He was looking at life imprisonment and 5 years supervised release. So that was pardoned. My goodness, that's really awful. Really, just Tracy. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, so that's pretty bad. That's a pretty bad dude you've been pointing out there. I think it was Mora Ross. Is that from? I bet it is. It is insane. Now, did you, are you in the same like state that he was in when he was going around doing this? All of these are federal charges. There may have been state charges also, but what we're looking at here for any pardon has to be a felon, or it has to be a federal case, or he wouldn't have the authority to write a pardon out. That's why everyone was so excited about the Georgia case, because it's like that's a state law issue, and and they're right, but Oh, really? Okay, big gang dude. Yeah, all right. Yeah, put it away. Hopefully no one's listening here. Yikes. All right. We've only got a couple more pages, everybody. And then we can all just sit back and think about our life choices. Can I find this list so I can share it with my family and friends? Sure, Honey Buzz. Look what I'll do. Let me see if I can bring this up. We'll see. I've got another screen I'm looking at here. We'll see. Oh, down a little bit. Okay, Office of the Pardon Attorney. So this is just right off of the Pardon Attorney's website. And it's clemency grants here by Mr. Orange. All right, hopefully that's good. Right, the governor, yeah. Are pardoned, but the Rug people near the Caribbean or Pacific are obliterated. That's such a good point, right? I mean, that's another reason why. Oh, I'm glad, honey Buzz. I'm not just calling you honey. I'm calling you the name. That's one of the reasons I thought it was so important to go through this. Again, because the argument is, well, I mean, they're rug runners. That doesn't sound right at all. And so who cares what happens to them? And I'm like, well, we've got rug runners right here. And what's happening to them is they're being pardoned. So I'm surprised too, Lisa. I hope it's still up there. I hope it still is. Yikes. All right, James Kernan, we're going to do speed round now, all right? Knowingly and willingly permitting a convicted felon to be engaged in the business of insurance. All right, that's 5 years probation. Marlene Mary Kernan, 2 years probation, and permitting a convicted felon to engage in the business of insurance. Yikes. Tanner Mansell, 1 year's probation, conditioned upon 50 hours of community service, theft of property within special maritime jurisdiction. What are you taking off the boat? Like some gold doubloons? My goodness. Oh, it still is? Okay, thanks, Doug. You just never know with this administration. You just never know, especially with some of the rubbish that's coming out of that Kennedy fella. Yikes, don't look at the website for that. Just, ask your doctor about it. All right, John R. Moore here, 1 year's probation, condition on 50 hours, theft of property within special maritime. They must have been partners here. Right, they must have been co-defendants. Oh, Siberia. I've been thinking today was Wednesday all day. Like, oh, it's Wednesday. Like, no, it's not Wednesday. All right, Marion Morgan, 405 months of imprisonment. That's a lot. Can someone do the math on that for me? I'm not good with the math, but maybe we could put that into years. That would be helpful. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, is that a gingerbread man with pants on? Oh my goodness. He's got pants. Oh my gosh, it's like a Christmas miracle. Oh, that's so wonderful. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I was feeling guilty that he didn't have any pants on. I felt like I might be exploiting him. Oh my gosh. Oh, Dolphin, you're amazing. You're so sweet. I appreciate it. All right, 33 years. That's a lot. That's a lot of years. Oh my goodness. I'm trying not to cry. I think that was just really bumming me out that the gingerbread man didn't have any pants on. It's like if I was a gingerbread man, I'd be pissed. All right, here we go. I gotta get back into it. Oh my gosh, you all are probably like, this is crazy, gotta go. Like, I understand. All right, 33 years is what we're looking at here. And we've got conspiracy to defraud the United States, wire fraud, 7 counts, transfer of funds, 5 counts, money laundering, 6 counts, making false statements on income tax returns, 3 counts. So this is going to be, like what the orange fellow was charged with here. But this is in Florida as opposed to New York. Right? So I know. Thanks, Steve. Thanks everybody for the help with the mathing. I'm just, I acknowledge I'm not good at it. But I'd like to say I try to get better, but that would be a lie. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Oh, love that. Love the corgis. All right, John Rowland here out of Connecticut. 12 months and 1 day imprisonment, right? So we know that means a misdemeanor level. 3 years supervised release, condition upon 4 months home confinement, 300 hours. Oh my goodness, again, I'm not sure about that. 300 hours of community service, $82,000 fine. Next, 30 months imprisonment, 3 years supervised release, $35,000. And it's conspiracy to defraud the U.S., falsification of records in a federal investigation, conspiracy, causing false statements, 2 counts illegal campaign contributions. Oh, I was going to say, I was just thinking in my mind, what campaign was this for? Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that. Right. And then illegal. So he was supposed to have just a year, it looks like 1 year prison, which he probably would have, he'd get time off for good behavior, also whatever he'd already served while the trial was going on if he was not there. Were they all prosecuted under Biden? That's a good question, and I don't think so. If you can look here, and I'll show you the key here. We've got the date that sentencing was done. So you want to go for as far as doing the investigation, it's going to be probably a year before that date. So for example, here we've got, if we go back, it's 2010, but really they were investigating it during 2009. So that's like before Biden, right? Some of them would have been around the same time as Biden, but honestly, some of them were also in the window of the Orange's first one as well. His first administration. Yeah, some Obama, some of the orange fella, it's a mixed bag. But what the crimes are is not a mixed bag. All right. So if we're, again, and I walk lightly, everyone, if we're going to say the president of the United States of America jacked up some, Southern Florida theft of property person's case, like that's a stretch, right? Within special maritime jurisdiction, like that's a stretch. You tell me Obama, with all he was dealing with, is going to be like, all right, who was the one that permitted the convict felon to engage in insurance business? Like that doesn't even make any sense. They're not flying down to the real world where we're at, all right? So let's just kind of pull that. The reason we do keep talking about Mr. Orange, though, is that we can see, first of all, these are the pardons he was doing. These are his pardons, all right? So right here, those are his pardons. And so the question is, why would he pardon them right now? And the answer, which I think is pretty clearly documented, is because he's getting some kind of benefit from it. So that's really it. Yeah, there's a pattern. There's a pattern, sure. Well, yeah, there definitely a pattern. I've not gone through and looked at all of Biden's pardons or Obama's, but it's on my to-do list, honestly. I mean, everybody has less pardons than the orange fella, so it's going to be quicker. But that is something that's on my mind. I try to look. I've got executive orders, every single executive order for President Biden and every single executive order from Trump's first and second. So I don't leave anyone out, but also, I just deal with what's relevant. Right? I can't do it all. True story. There'll be a rise in state charges, so this can't happen again. Very possible. It's very possible. And that's happened before in the history of the U.S., where the federal government, like everybody hated them. And they're like, you guys are jerks. We don't want to deal with this. So that they moved everything into the state level that they possibly could, and then worked real hard to get people into Congress and into the presidency the next time that wouldn't make it so difficult. Right. So yeah, there could absolutely be. Oh, hello, Viper. Hey, good to see you. Right. Well, right. So, oh my gosh, the executive orders, though, this time everybody stays late. I know it's nothing personal, but I'm like, dude, I'm running out of Post-its. Like, just take a couple days off. That'd be great. All right, here we go. Supersonic version. Charles Overton Scott, 42 months imprisonment, conspiracy to commit securities fraud. All right, again, another white-collar crime. Alexander Sittenfeld, 16 months imprisonment, bribery concerning programs receiving federal funds. That's interesting. Attempted extortion under color of official. What? That's really bad. That one's a really bad one. Earl Lamont Smith, theft of government property. All right. 18 months imprisonment. It must have been very important property then. Right. Garnet Gilbert Smith, 300 months of imprisonment. So that's a lot. Conspiracy to distribute and possess with intent to distribute this substance here. Again, are we fighting the war on rugs? And if we're fighting the war on rugs, which is what I'm hearing the scuttlebutt saying, like, oh, well, there's a war on rugs, and so that gives the president certain powers he can unlock and use. I'm like, well, first of all, no, we don't. That's not declared a war. You need to have congressional declarations. I didn't write the law or the Constitution. That's just how it is. But next up, you're saying if we are at war, why are you pardoning the people that are also contributing to this? Right? 25 years. Thanks, Steve. I didn't want to ask again. I was like, am I asking for too much? Ask for another number. So I was like, that's all right. Here we go. Next one, Charles LeVar Tanner. 360 months imprisonment, conspiracy to possess with the intent to distribute 5 kilograms of a substance here. An attempt to possess with intent to distribute 5 kilograms. Right. So, I mean, most people probably don't know too much, really. Exactly, Tootle. That's exactly right. 32 years. Oh, my gosh. All right. So, what a lot of people don't realize wait, what was I talking about? I was going to talk about some rug stuff. Oh, hold on. It's coming back to me. Now. All right. What was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about the 8-ball, but that's not right. We got the shrooms that are legal now. That's not what I was going to talk about. The devil weed. Nope. Don't need that. What was I going to say? White powder substance cookie. That's another example. Oh, right. I was going to say, I remember now. I was going to say, you have to really be careful out there too with the amount you have on your person, because there's personal use versus the intent to distribute. And that's a very fine line. And that line has to be respected, because we'll fight it in court. Okay, Fenty. No, I'm not seeing a lot of Fenty here. Right. Trying to fight it right instead of part. I know. And math, math used to be a really huge one. We used to have people driving around in cars. It was called a mobile lab. That was like the most dangerous of all the labs when it came to cooking stuff, because you hit a bump too hard and that whole lab is going to go boosh. And it's really awful. Also, in your opinion, well, fair enough. That gets argued. We will argue that. We'll say, come on, it's personal usage. What do you think, Your Honor? Like what? You didn't know that? Like, well, you guys are just so old-fashioned. You don't know how things work in the real world. I don't know, Johnny. Great question, though, right? And with all of these, the question is, how did this request get up to the president, right? And one way could be they actually wrote to the president and said, help me out here, right? So many of those, oh my gosh, yeah. Whoever got pardoned was Kanye West. Well, right, that's what I'm saying, exactly. She brought it up, or they brought it up in front of him, and then they were able to do that heavy. Well, exactly. I'm not sure how much when it comes to that, but because I'm not good at math, so I don't even weigh stuff out properly. Don Jr.'s friends, that could be. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go, back in it, sorry. Annabelle Valenzuela. Oh, I'm going to try again. Valenzuela. Ooh, gorgeous name. 384 months in prison. Yikes. Conspiracy to distribute, possess with intent to distribute 50 grams. Yeah. All right. No, not personal usage here. Or more of, and here's our M word, conspiracy to commit money laundering, criminal forfeiture, 2 counts. Ah, my goodness. All right. Here's this next one. And it looks like we've only got a couple left here, everybody. But we've got Ahmad Shah Zuberi, 144 months imprisonment, 3 years, whatever, $1 million, whatever, $15 million restitution, violation of the Foreign Agents Registration Act. Ooh, that reminds me of that guy with the gold bars, like his lady friend needed to fill out certain paperwork, I think. Was that right? She was involved because she hadn't done it the right way either. These are random words I'm putting together, and if you were here when I read through that indictment, you'll know what I'm talking about. Everyone else will be like, what the H is she saying? Menendez, VC, yes, VC for the win. Well, right, CT, I think it could be read to him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Anyway, foreign agents registration, tax evasion, conduit, foreign and other illegal campaign contributions, tampering with a witness, victim or informant, obstruction of justice. Yowzas. Now, my question is, actually, no, I don't have that question anymore, but that's a lot. 12 years. All right. Oh my gosh. Steve, what would I do without you helping me? 12 years here, 140 months. So I'm going to put 12 years before I forget. All right. And it looks like, I think we're pretty close to the end here. Let's, because we're backing up a little bit. May 29th, 1 pardon, 2 commutations. Because he couldn't, it's a good question too, Johnny. I mean, he's got to be so upset that he can't seem to get that cleaned up off of his record, right? And he's not going to get it. And I usually don't put definitive answers in, but the case was solid. If anything needed to happen, I would say it could be retried very easily. We don't want to retry it because this is a nightmare, but I think it could be. All right, Jeremy Young Hutchinson here, 18 months, 28 months, 50 months, conspiracy to commit bribery, aiding and abetting, filing a false income tax return, which, again, Orange fella does that. Conspiracy, criminal forfeiture of property. All right, so criminal forfeiture of property, I'm going to say that would be another way of saying theft, essentially. Edward Ruben Sotelo. Ooh, Reuben sandwich. Oh no, everyone, I'm getting really hungry. Life imprisonment. All right, well, you've been pardoned. Conspiracy, continuing criminal enterprise, possession with intent to distribute 1 kilogram of this substance, aiding and abetting 2 counts, use of telephone to facilitate commission of a felony. Ooh, there's a very famous case involving a public telephone. And I think it's just Katz v. U.S., but this was a case that was done in the 1960s. The key to this is it established the right of privacy based off of your expectation. So the expectation of privacy rule came from this case, if you're interested. Expectation, that's not right, I can't spell. You know what I'm saying? Expectation, no. That's terrible. You all know what I meant. Ooh, 98 months is how long? 8 years. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. All right, so we had issues with that. Distribute 10 pounds of the marijuana and aiding and abetting distribution of more than 5 kilograms of that and aiding and abetting. This is a lot. All right, this is a lot on one person. I would be interested to see how they got him. I mean, he must have had some people narking on him for sure, because this is bonkers. That's a lot. This clearly is a dealer. I mean, you can't carry that much around just, for a little funsies when you go see your parents. Like, that's too much. That's just too much. All right. Hello. Welcome, Brooklyn. Hello. And then Joe Angelo Sotelo here. Life imprisonment. Wow, Texas. Texas isn't playing around. I mean, you're just done. It's just life in prison. Here's my question, though. I wonder if this was politically oriented as well. Like they are going to use these people for something or only agreed for them to go forward as long as they could get a pardon. I don't know, just wondering about it. And it doesn't look like it because these are older cases. Anyway, conspiracy, possession with intent to distribute 1 kilogram of this stuff and aiding and abetting. All right, here's our last page. We have Ahmad Shah Zuber. Wait a minute. We just had an Ahmad Shah Zuber. Zuberi. We just had that. Is this the same thing? Yes. Okay, so this got transferred. All right, and then, this one got transferred, but then we'll start October 17th here. Right, or it could be Mama Weed, could be. I mean, I think everything's on the table right now. All options are on the table. So we've got George Anthony DeValder Santos. Anyone familiar with that guy? Right. Anyone know that name sound familiar to anybody? Just putting that out there. 87 months. 7.25 years. That's all right. Yeah, I mean, you could live through that. Right. New York representative, exactly. I prefer to call him the sweater fella, but y'all do what you feel comfortable with. So this fella, he got 7.25 years. Thank you very much. Appreciate the help. And $373,000 in restitution. And his charges were wire fraud, the party programs scheme, and aggravated identity theft. So just to clarify, the identity theft was he took the name and credit cards of like a cousin or nephew or something like that, a relative. He just like took his stuff and then charged up a whole bunch of stuff on it. Like, dude, that's your family. And his accountant was like, this is wrong, I gotta go. And so she played a major role also. She did get charged as well. Right. Right. So this was, of course, right? But you need to know, the big question is, what did he get out of it? What was the payment? Right? What was the loyalty or blackmail material that Santos was willing to give over to him? Yep. All right, October 21st, we've got Cheng Peng Zhao and 4 months imprisonment and $50 million. That's a lot of cash. Failure to maintain an effective anti-money laundering program. I do not know what that is. What is that? Failure to maintain an effective anti-money laundering program. Like on the computer, like in his business. This doesn't make any sense to me. It's like what? What are you talking about? Is he working at the White House? I don't know. It's a good question. Because now he's got, he has no criminal record once the pardons have gone through. Ooh, the Binance guy. Oh my gosh. Yikes. Whoa. Like, right. Anti-laws. Right. Got it. Crypto exchange stuff. All right. That will continue to go over my head as time goes on. All right. November 7th, just a couple weeks ago, Glenn Casada, 36 months imprisonment, conspiracy to defraud the United States, honest services, wire fraud, 4 counts. What he called? He called it honest. Use of fictitious name to carry out a fraud, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. All right. Cade Cothran, 30 months, conspiracy to defraud the U.S. Again, we've got wire fraud, fictitious name, conspiracy to commit money laundering, 7 counts of money laundering. That's a lot. Robert Henry Harshbarger, that's a difficult name to have. 48 months imprisonment, introducing misbranded rugs into interstate commerce, healthcare fraud. So misbranded rugs, that could result in unaliving. Oh, that's not good. All right, Troy Lake, 12 months and 1 day's imprisonment, conspiracy to violate the Clean Air Act. I'm glad we still have it. Michael McMahon. Is this the husband of the wrestling lady that's bringing down education? I think I'm saying the name wrong. That's how it's reminding me of that. Mahona. Well, whatever. This fella out of New York, 18 months imprisonment, 2 years supervised, acting as an agent of a foreign government without prior notification to the Attorney General, conspiracy to engage in interstate stalking. McMahon. Okay, McMahon. This is the husband of that wrestling lady. I remember that. I remember he was in some trouble because they had filed, I think there's a civil lawsuit against him also here. So, Vince. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe, it sounds to me. Oh, did it? She's had several husbands. This can just drive me bonkers, everybody. Let me just do my quick Googles here. Because I thought there was like a sexual harassment case up and running against both him and her from some nanny person or something. I can't remember exactly. If I can't remember exactly, I probably shouldn't talk about it. But okay, McMahon. Oh my goodness gracious! Private investigator sentenced to prison for interstate. Oh my gosh. Yep, he was. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's just see. Married to Martha. No, okay, wait, no, I was wrong. I'm confused, everybody. I can't even tell if that's the wrestling lady or not. All right, so this one, I don't know. I may have misspoke. This might be a different McMahon person. Because, I don't see... Oh, my gosh. She's an actress? Oh, my gosh. She's married to an actress? Oh, that's too bad. All right, moving forward, everybody. There we go, Irene. Let it cook. And then, of course, Daryl Strawberry. This is so crazy. Income tax evasion in the 90s, and he had 3 years probation. So basically, this just cleared his record. So everyone know Daryl Strawberry really, I guess, I'm not sure he was a good baseball player, but he was popular. He was a popular professional baseball player, but he got into some rugs, and that was hard to kind of get past. He was good. Was he good? I can't remember, but I mean, yeah, baseball. But again, when we're dealing with substances and things like addiction and such, it's a whole nother animal. It's not just going to be, well, they had the rugs and now they go. No, there's a whole new piece in there that now we have more knowledge about. And I think you have to, put that factor it in when you're doing anything with that. Was it Boston? Mets and Dodgers. All right. Until the rugs. Yeah, I know. I was bummed out about that. I was like, do better, Strawberry Man. But that was way before I understood how that can get started and not taken care of right away. All right, and this will be the last one we'll do for tonight, everyone. But we've got a Michelino, well, whatever, Sunseri. Don't tell Amanda I screwed these names up, all right, everyone? We go do the Mandarin when we're done. Don't tell her. All right, leaving the Garnet Canyon Trail to use a shortcut of the Old Climbers Trail in violation of the Superintendent's 2024 compendium. Oh, all right. We don't have any sentence here, and the offense is taking a shortcut trail. So, I mean, what are our thoughts on this? Ooh, 8 gifts left. Oh my gosh, you all are so generous. That sounds dumb. Oh my gosh, Jennifer, yes. You are right. Like, well, that's stupid. Now, I get it. We want to protect our places here, especially places that have been around or have been key pieces in our indigenous history as well. And we do have rules. We have rules in our parks, and you need to follow those rules. Well, we still have the parks, right? But on the other hand, in the cases that I've worked that have involved something like this, there's some kind of damage done. Did they damage the walk? Was that damaged? Did they damage trees? Did they have a negative impact on any animals? Like, there's some kind of harm that needs to be included. But, we don't know what the superintendent's 2024 compendium says exactly. And they do have the right and jurisdiction to set out those compendium rules as well. So we don't really know 100% about what's happening, but this one's like, man, I don't know. I've got too many other ones I'm worried about. This one I'm like, yeah, let me know what happens. If he keeps doing this, if he goes to every single park in the U.S. and is like, I'm taking an extra road, then I'd need to know about that, because that would be some serious troubles. He would have some problems. All right, everybody. Phew, I was hoping to get to J6 tonight, but it just wasn't going to happen. But my goodness gracious, my hope was, though, again, we would be able to see how strict their policy is on rugs getting into the country, right? When there are so many pardons involving rugs and fraud, right? Waste and fraud. So many pardons involving waste and fraud, right? And so they're like, well, don't do it. But if you do it and you know somebody, you're going to be fine. So it's a little frustrating, and understandably so. But with that, my friends, this was a little extra long tonight. I appreciate you all hanging out till the very end. I'll be back again very soon. We've got a couple different kinds of reports and a couple cases as well. So I will be back as soon as I possibly can. So take care, everyone. Have a great night. Thank you all for joining. And as always, moderators, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one.